Hi, welcome to this channel on magnetic energy, technology, principles, and applications. This video is about magnetic energy and droughts. And I understand that droughts have been a thing on our planet for probably forever on some continents. But in the United States right now, they are particularly intense in the Southwest region. But this video also applies to the rest of the world. It's equally as important. This is no first world versus third world thing. This technology is for everyone. Let's make that very clear. And it should be to help with all people for water, okay? So let me just revisit the past. Our past experience with this technology and how it was confiscated by the government and what we went through is just a drop in the bucket of what other inventors and other scientists have gone through way back. 100 years. It's literally a drop in the bucket. If the government had allowed the original engine that we had been working on, if they had allowed that to be developed and that encouraged its development, and our government and all the governments around the world weren't ruled and controlled by petroleum companies and other private individuals and organizations and corporations, think about the implications of that. Just not even extrapolating to all the different types of units, but just the one unit. For the last 40 years, people would not have been paying for gas because there'd be no need for any gasoline in vehicles. People would not be paying for electricity, any power whatsoever. And because you could have supplied all the power needs with that engine as well, especially because it's scalable. So now, if the government had actually gone into the rest of the units and really delved into the technology, it would have been the end of hunger on this planet, the end of scarcity on this planet, the end of poverty on this planet, and certainly the end of dirty water. And so really, realistically, the United States government, as well as other governments, owe people trillions of dollars for what they have confiscated and what they have done to people over God knows how many decades. So now, the only reason I'm bringing that up is because as we move forward, and as we look at issues like the droughts that are taking place around the world, this technology, just the water technology alone, could be released and it could take care of all drought issues around the planet. And so I'm not even talking about trying to overthrow the oil companies or oil, gas, and coal. They can continue to do what they do. We can continue to pay for utilities. We can continue to pay for gas, however you want to do that. But at the very least, because it's a necessity for life, clean water is absolutely essential for life. Authorities, governments, corporations, whatever, could at the very least, support magnetic energy technology and other technology to bring forth clean water. And so I'm just going to run down some of the basic units that would help with clean water and bringing clean water to the United States, to the Southwest, and whoever else needs it, to Africa, around the world, to India, to all the different countries that need clean water, that need fresh water. Okay, so let's just begin real quick with the pump. Okay, the magnetic energy pump. It is scalable, so it can be made into a variety of sizes and become quite potent in its output. That pump runs on neutral magnetic current from this unit right over here, okay, or other units, that's fine. Now these are very simple drawings, so a lot of stuff is left out of these drawings, like coils and variety of magnets and wiring, because otherwise you really wouldn't be able to see anything other than just that. So it's just to try to give you a peek into the unit. So this pump is designed to be used in very shallow wells, and it essentially attracts water from deep within the earth into a shallow well. Now, for 30 some years, we've been saying there's a tremendous amount of fresh water inside the planet below what we typically think of as the water tables. And finally, geologists and scientists have gotten on board with that and said, wow, hey, wait a minute. There's literally almost an unlimited supply of fresh water that's deep in the earth. This pump could be used anywhere on the planet. It doesn't matter what the environment is. It doesn't matter how dry it is. It doesn't even matter if there are active water tables. It will draw water up from below the water tables, from deep within the earth, and it will bring water into a very shallow well, a well that is very inexpensive to drill. So that's number one, okay? Just that basic unit, okay? Just the government, just allow that basic unit, okay? Because it can really help a lot of people. Then we could go into this unit, the water purifier. Again, this is scalable. The original unit's about 5 feet tall, and it does fairly good volume. So what it could be used for, not only is it great for cleaning groundwater, cleaning river water, cleaning lake water, and whatever water needs to be cleaned, it can desalinate. So it's used for desalinization of water. So now you've got this ability for very low cost to have as much free water, as much clean water, or as you want, by basically using it near coasts, anywhere near a coast that has salt water located near it, and you can use it as a desalinization process, which is really powerful. Now, if we want to get crazy, if you want to get more exotic with the technology, and I'm not even suggesting that we do this because the human race isn't really ready for that, and there's been a lot of suppression and everything, but overall think about it. If they had released the technology in the 70s and before, all the way back to 100 years ago with the suppression of technology, and we had spaceships flying around the planet right now, we're really not ready for that. We're not ready for that level of technology and for the technology that can vaporize matter. So we're not really ready for that yet. But if we just stick to the water technology and we just use it to help people live and survive and have clean water, there could be a huge benefit. And I'll get into the much larger benefit to that in just one second. Now, if you want to get really exotic, you could start replicating water, or actually creating, it's not really creating, but assembling water, or what we would call formulating water, out of etheric energy. So we're either going to reformulate it or we're going to formulate it. So we're either going to take a body of water that we have hopefully magnetically conditioned, that's clean, fresh water, and just replicate the bejeebers out of it, and you can have as much water as you want. Now, for that, you would be looking at like this device up here in combination with this device, or this device. So that opens the door, and that's scalable again, to having the ability to replicate water, or generate, or create, if you will, water out of etheric energy. So that really kind of gets out there like, holy crap, that's very futuristic technology. But at the same time, for certain situations in certain areas where maybe it's desalinization isn't really realistic, and who knows, for whatever reason, you want more water than the pump can supply or something, whatever. There are other solutions. So I guess my point with that is with magnetic technology, there is always a way. There is always a solution. It's the willingness of governments and authorities and oil, gas, whatever, coal companies to allow the technology. I mean, are we really threatening any major players with water technology? I mean, it's not like the petroleum industry where they're really basically think they're in control of the planet right now and running. We call it a petroleum-based economy. Well, so we're not really threatening that by cleaning water, right? So I mean, we're literally talking about building a new industry that would provide countless jobs if we still want to play that game, the whole job game and the economic enslavement game. Now, let's just keep in mind with magnetic technology, ultimately, you really don't need to have, people do not have to work. Okay, so but that's maybe a long goal or a longer goal, because all goods and services and water and power and everything can be provided at no charge with this technology. So we got to keep that in mind, that's kind of the future that we could head into. But if the government still wants their tax money and they still want to kind of keep things under control and keep people, forcing people to work and all these things, we have an unlimited number of jobs that we can create with this technology, because every one of these units is a gateway unit that can be it can open the doors to so many inventions and so many types of units that could revolutionize our world in so many ways. So if you want jobs, we've got jobs. We can give you jobs up the wazoo, as many as you want, and we could even make them for skilled, unskilled, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if that's the game you want to play and we want to pay lots of taxes and give lots of jobs, we can do that. That's fine. So water, clean water, one way or another, you can make it work with magnetic technology. And there's other units, and I can talk about them in future videos, that can help with this process as well. And here's one kind of cool thing. You may not be able to see this one as well. There's a slight picture of it in the corner over here, and then there's a slight picture over here. And this is a unit that can run off-grid and power several of the water purifiers. So you could literally have them on a flatbed truck, 5 of them if you will, and you could power all 5 of them with that unit. So it wouldn't even take electricity to power those units, but the process would be simply just to purify water, nothing else. We're not going to turn it into a vehicle or car, and that could be, the temporary rules. Now, I want to make a point very clear. Every bit of water that touches these units changes. These units make that water magnetically charged. They bring a neutral magnetic component to the water that will change everything that water touches. So it will be incredibly optimal for plant growth, for agricultural uses, for drinking. It will change people's bodies. It will change their consciousness. It will bring them more energy, more vitality, more oxygen, more minerals. All of these things, it will bring healing to their bodies. So yes, magnetic technology can bring a disease-free world. That's absolutely what it can do. But in the meantime, till you get to that level, having magnetically conditioned and charged programmed water is so revolutionary that it can actually start changing consciousness, changing people's bodies, changing them and helping them have more vitality, more energy, healing faster, maintaining more optimal health. And all the plants and animals that drink this water that has been magnetically conditioned will benefit tremendously from it as well. So it turns agriculture from, it supercharges agricultural processes, supercharges animal health, animal vitality, making it so that you can have more organic fruit, more organic feed for animals, and keep them off of the chemicals, the steroids, all the injections, keep them off of all those medicines. They become unnecessary. Their immune systems, animals' immune systems as well as people, become so robust with this type of water and this type of magnetically charged water that they don't need all those chemicals to keep them going. And that's a bit of a threat maybe to like some of the pharmaceutical industries, but there's other things that they can do and other ways that they can work with the magnetic technology and have new products and new ideas and new things that will make them even more money. So there's no limit to what you can do with this technology, even if you want to continue to play the same game. So this is a quick video, and I'll do another one on some of the other units. We'll get into some more detail on those at some point, but I just want to put this out there that there's no need for the droughts. Another thing, final thought on this that you could do, and this goes for the fires as well. So you can have, remember Wilhelm Reich, remember those orgone accumulators and those tests that they used to do, and they would make it rain and they would make clouds. You can have supercharged orgone devices that bring rain to any area. With the magnetic units and those devices combined, you combine those technologies and now they are supercharged, and you could bring rain of any quality or amount that you want, as well as dispelling storms. But you can bring rain to an area. So you could make it rain on an area that has fire as long as you need it to, until the fire's out. You could make it rain and replenish reservoirs if you need it to. So this is another option of how magnetic technology works in conjunction with nature. It's all natural technology, no electricity involved, and you can work with nature and really play along with nature. Now we're kind of like, we work in communion and in union, in harmony with the planet, and working on ways that help us, help the environment, and help the planet as well. Because at the same time, whenever you run these devices, we're going to be helping restore the ozone layer, restore the ionosphere, bring balance to the ionosphere and the ozone layer, connect those fields in the ground to the ionosphere, and let that whole energy process. The planet's so out of balance right now with electricity all around, and this could help restore that balance as well, even through the water technology. So, hope that wasn't too much, but someone's got to say this stuff, and I guess I'm going to try to put in my 2 cents. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.